Hi, I'm Jasmine, and this is my experience with the 9010 MedBed. When I first started to activate it and asked it to scan me, I really didn't feel a whole lot at that point. However, when I did ask it to focus on different parts of my body for healing, then I really started to feel the energy. So for example, when I asked about it healing some problems with my vision and my eyes, immediately I started to feel pressure up in the top of my head and my eyes. So I thought that was really interesting. Another thing that stood out is I had discomfort in my shoulder. And when I asked that to be addressed, this was really interesting. It actually felt like a human hand came here and wiped it. And when it did, the pain went away. So that was quite an interesting experience. Another thing is I remembered someone else gave a testimonial about it can raise consciousness and experimenting with that. So I thought that would be an interesting thing to do. So I asked for that, and immediately I felt these waves of bliss coming over me, and it just felt really nice. It felt like as if I was going into a nice deep meditation. So that I stayed with that for a while. Another thing I felt was if my subtle bodies were being rearranged. I know in different times I've had energy work and Reiki treatments, and sometimes I'd feel that as if it would feel like your physical body is being twisted or contorted or bending, but it's really your subtle bodies, and I felt some of that too during this session. So while I was falling asleep, I thought it might be interesting to see if it could work with your DNA to bring you back to a time when you looked and felt your best, at whatever age that would be. For me, maybe about 27. So I did ask that, bring the DNA to a divine perfect pattern, and then I fell into a deep sleep. And when I woke up in the morning, I felt just kind of ungrounded, out of it, and I stayed that way for most of the day. It felt as if I was not done, not integrated, as if I really needed more time to do this procedure that the MedBed had started. So that would be great to actually experience that on a nightly basis, to ask for something like that and see what it would do. But regardless, it did settle by the end of the day. And as for physical things, well, the thing that I noticed that perhaps shifted some was an overactive bladder issue. And it's interesting because I didn't even focus on that specifically, and yet that happened. So I did get something from that night. And I'm just really grateful to the company that allows us to test this for free. So thank you, 9010 MedBed.